Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin, and today we're going to get back on that grapple project. So in the last video on the grapple, we started cutting our sleeves for our pivot points, and as I was cutting them, I noticed that my saw was not cutting straight. So I straightened out the saw, got that cutting straight, made a video of that. I'll put a link to that video in the description if you haven't seen it. You can check that out. But now that I got that cutting straight, we can get back on cutting some sleeves, so let's get started. So the first thing I need to do before I can cut out any pieces is re-square that end, because obviously it's crooked from the last cut I did. We got our first sleeve cut, and it's pretty square, at least square enough for what we're doing. Now that I'm sure the saw is cutting square, we can go ahead and cut the rest of our sleeves. And then we can just file off all the burrs on the outside and the inside of the tube. Now that I got the 3 pieces of my sleeve cut, I can go ahead and slide the sleeves over that pin material and get a length for our first pin. Okay, so we got our 4 pieces cut for our pivot points on the first half of one arm. So there's going to be 2 sets of these on each arm, and then another set for each one of the hydraulic cylinder ends. So basically what's going to happen is this is going to sit in here with the arm in the center, like so. So then these 2 pieces of sleeve will be welded to each one of these. This one will get welded in the center so that the center one pivots, and these ones stay the same, and then I'll end up drilling a hole through with a bolt that'll hold the pin in place so that the sleeves don't work and the pin doesn't work its way in and out. And that's basically the pivot point for each side of the grapple arm. I'm thinking it's going to be easier to drill the hole through the sleeve and the pin without all those pieces tacked onto it. So I'm going to go ahead, measure out, figure out where I'm going to put this hole, take it over the drill press and drill it in. Okay, so we got our hole drilled in our one part of the sleeve here, and this is all I have for bolts right now. I don't have the hardware that's going to go in there, but that'll end up going through, bolting, so that the pin inside here in this sleeve cannot rotate, and that'll hold that pin in place. There's no strain or anything on this bolt. It's literally just to hold the pin. The pin itself is what's going to hold all the weight. All right, so I think the next step is going to be to start tacking our pieces all together, getting our 2 supports and our arm tacked to the different sleeves. And I'm thinking the best way to do that is to figure out how much spacing I have between sleeve, arm, and sleeve, cut 2 spacers to put in between, clamp it all down tight to get this all as straight as I possibly can to each other. We're going to go in 1 1/4 spacers. All right, let's go cut 2 1 1/4 spacers. So I really wasn't happy with how straight the pieces were with just those 2 spacers clamped in. So I'm going to cut 2 more spacers and put them on the backside with another clamp to really straighten this out. So I started tacking, and unfortunately I didn't realize something. I made my spacers too big, and when I centered it on the sleeves, I'm too close to my bolt hole. When I had originally made these, I had made these so that there was going to be an 1/8 of an inch gap, and I have about 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to have to take these apart and make some smaller spacers and try it again. So I was really hoping that I'd actually get to start tacking some of the arm parts to the actual rock bucket itself. But when you don't have a full drawn out plan and you're kind of making things up as you go, there's bound to be little issues here and there that you got to overcome. So unfortunately I ran out of time to go any further on it in this video. But in the next video we'll fix the spacing on this and hopefully start putting some stuff on the bucket itself. Just want to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.